We are measuring our national income. Yesterday we measured using GDP, we used GVA, we used GNI. Today we want to talk about using net national income, NNI. For the net national income, I wrote at market price, net national income at market price. This measures the true value of a country's income, which is the GDP, when depreciation is deducted. So NNI is GDP minus depreciation. GDP is the value of the goods we have produced domestically. So when it comes to net national income, it means those capital stocks we have, because we continue to use them, they will start depreciating. So the amount of depreciation that is involved when we have to take, because we use those capital goods like equipment, machine to produce goods and services. So as we continue to use these equipment, they start reducing in terms of value. So that value, we have to take it away from what they are used to produce. That is all called the net national income. So GDP minus depreciation is NNI. GDP is what is being produced domestically. So those equipment, capital goods that we use in producing them, the value of their depreciation, we have to take it away from what has been produced in terms of the value. So that is why we said NNI is GDP minus depreciation. That is done. Then we have volume versus value of national income. So what is the volume of the national income? What is the value of the national income? They are not the same. The volume of the national income is the basket of goods and services that can be bought with a given amount of money. So when we talk about the volume of national income, the amount of money, the amount of money you have, what it can buy in terms of basket of goods is what we call the volume of national income. That's why I said it is the basket of goods and services that can be bought with a given amount of money. What can be bought with the amount of money you have with you is called the volume of national income. Then the value of national income is the cost of the basket of goods and services at a given price level. So when we talk about the value, we're talking about the cost of what is being produced. This is what is being produced. So the cost of what is being produced is called the value of our national income. So the difference between volume of national income and value of national income is the volume of national income is the amount of money you can buy with the same basket of goods and services. That is volume. Value is the cost of that volume you are buying. Get it again. There's volume of national income. Volume of national income is the basket of goods and services that a given amount of money can buy within an economy. That is volume. For value, it means the cost of those goods of baskets, or those baskets of goods and services that we can buy within that economy. Volume is the amount we have that can buy the basket of goods we want. Value is the cost of the basket of goods. Then, how do we measure the value of national income? The formula for value of national income is volume of national income multiplied by the current price level. So the price we are selling right now, multiplied by the amount of money we have that we can use to buy the basket of goods, will give us our value of national income. Volume versus value. Volume is the amount of money we have to buy certain basket of goods and services. Value is the cost of that basket of goods and services we are buying. So to get the formula for value of national income, it is the volume of national income multiplied by the current price level. That's about that. Then what do we call basket of goods and services? Basket of goods and services represent consumer spending and is used to track changes in the price of consumer goods and services. So we call it basket of goods because it represents the amount of money we spend. So if we have to track the price of what we buy within the economy, we use the basket of goods. Get it again. Basket of goods and services represents our spending as consumers. So what do we use it for? We use it to track changes in the price level. Oh, last year we bought for $5 bottled water. This year it is $7. So we are able to track it because we have our basket of goods items. That is what basket of goods is. I think it's clear. Then we have economic growth. For economic growth, what does it imply? Economic growth rate is the annual percentage change in the real GDP. So last year was different from this year. So the output is increasing. But how do we calculate our output as it is increasing? We calculate it using inflation. So every now and then there's going to be inflation in the economy, but it should not be less than 2.5. Inflation above 5% is considered as too high. So every now and then there's going to be inflation because prices, whatever you buy, you want to inflate the price to make profit. So that means inflation is constant within any economy. So when we measure inflation, when we put into consideration inflation rate with our GDP, then we have real GDP. The real GDP, or GDP at constant prices. This is when we measure our GDP with inflation, and that is how we must measure GDP. If not, we will be overstating the value of our national income because we did not put inflation into consideration. So whenever we are calculating our GDP, we have to put inflation into consideration. That will give us what we call the real GDP. And real GDP is what? The constant GDP of an economy. That's about that. Then we go to capital. We go to capital and national